everyone. Welcome. Thanks for being here. This is the Ad Astra Angel channel where I do energy reading updates, astrology updates, general tarot card readings, just anything and everything. It's still in development. Who knows what it'll turn into. This is like video number 4, I think, or 4. But this recording is to talk about the full moon in Virgo that actually happened this morning at like 10:43, I think is when it was exact. And it's 10 after 6 now, Central Daylight Time. So it's already happened, but like most things, the energies will still be reeling in the energies for a few, days, really. You know, the astrology affects everyone differently, and some people really fucking sit in it, and some people can feel it coming from a mile away, and then others don't seem to be affected by it at all, and it's just kind of up to everyone's own vibration. But this is a full moon in Virgo, was a full moon in Virgo. It still visibly looks quite full tonight, but it's an intense one, and if you haven't been following along, every full moon that we've had so far in 2019, I believe, has been, I think it started tail end of December that we started the 0 degrees full moons. I've been posting a lot about the aneretic degree or the critical degree in astrology, and that's 29 degrees of any sign, and there are actually a few. I think 16 is one, there are 3, but 29 is the third and like most intense of the aneretic degrees or the critical degrees, because what you have that particular zodiac sign. So let's say we are moving, the moon is in Virgo, 0 degrees, and so previous to that it was at 29 degrees Leo. So for Leo, having something at 29 degrees Leo, that would just be an intensity of all the things Leo represents. Leo is the sun. Leo is how we like to shine. Leo is praise. Leo, you see a lot of performers, being on all the time. There can kind of shadow aspects of Leo can be a super need to please, so much so that they can kind of either lose themselves, or it can be hard to shift the thinking. Leo can get obsessive kind of on one particular thing, and it's hard to get them out to see all the ways that things are already working in their favor. So that's at the 29 degrees, you just have a super intense everything that particular sign represents, and it comes in so hard and so fast that it's a little bit like a dam for a particular person. And my ascendant is actually 29 degrees of Aries, so it is on the critical degree. So this is a feeling I know very well. But you think you have a plan, and you've come to be able to represent all of the things that the particular zodiac sign represents, and then it comes down to doing the thing, and it's like and then you go completely the opposite direction of everything that you had planned. And while you're doing it, you're like, what the fuck, this is not, but you're just like, fuck it, we're over here now, like this is where we're going, I guess. And it can sneak up on you, the aneretic degree, this critical degree. And so we've left that behind. And so what happens when you leave and go into a new sign, so 0 degrees Taurus is physical beauty. My moon is in Taurus, hey. But it is the physical world ruled by Venus. So Venus is love, harmony. She can be a little superficial. She likes to look nice. She can be a little petty. She did kind of ruin a wedding once. But she is physical. She is earth. She is gardening. She is landscaping. She is the relationship we have to the physical earth. And so Taurus, if you've got any Taurus energy, you have to have a relationship with nature in order to really have that energy functioning well. It's good for all of us, but particularly Taurus heavy energy, it's like, no, you need to go outside, you need to ground in the earth, you need to touch it, you need to feel fresh air in your lungs, and we get cut off from ourselves when we're too busy escaping out here, because the physical is really where we're supposed to be, because it's where we're drawn. We all exist in the physical plane, but for Taurus energy, it's all about the earth. And I think that's also part of the reason I wrote notes here of like a general guideline to kind of follow, and now that I'm in it, and it's very weird to do this by yourself and then just have like your dog hanging out, like looking at you like, okay, I guess we're doing this now. And so I'm just want to acknowledge that I'm still trying to find my flow and figure out what works, and we'll be changing it as such. And anyway, I have a whole list of shit I was going to talk about, and I feel like I'm kind of zipping through it. I don't know. So if anyone watches this and they want more information on one particular thing, just get in touch. But the particular challenge all right, so two things kind of about, one, the physical world that I was talking about with Taurus, because the full moon is in Virgo tonight, which is another earth sign. Virgo is the harvest. So Taurus is the land. Virgo is how we interact with the land. Can we use it? And Virgo is all about a fucking plan. If you know a Virgo, typically they're organized. They're really great copywriters. My mother is a Virgo sun, and grammar is a thing that makes me really anxious, and because my mom was always pointing out my grammatical errors. But I love her, and it's made me a better communicator. So that's Virgo. Virgo's like, oh, here are many of the ways you could improve, but also here's how you're improving. And so it's worth it. It's just, are you going to show up for your shit? The earth gives us everything that we need. And so Virgo is, all right, how are we going to use it, right? How do we distill down what this is, and where do we apply it? And with Chiron transiting into Aries, with this full moon in Virgo, with Uranus about to transit over to Taurus next week, and with Mars just moving in there on, I think it was Valentine's Day, or maybe the day after. I have it written down somewhere. Really, it doesn't matter. But Taurus is a sign that's super highlighted right now. Venus also rules relationships, so that's why all that shit is just getting reworked right now. Any person that you have a one-on-one relationship with, not necessarily in a romantic sense, but just, I mean, people are leaving jobs, people are breaking up, people are finding out that what they thought they wanted, that what they invested in might not be no longer what they want. So there's, if my mom were ever to find these, she'd be mortified right now. But it's all by divine design, which is the point that I'm really trying to make here. That with so much mother energy around, we're really being asked to step forward and fucking mother ourselves, because it's abundantly clear what is not working. You just fucking look out the window and it's like, oh, I can name 20 things off the top of my head that's not fucking working. And what we might, this is more center stage, global stage, is that shit was never working, not for everyone. The illusion was that it was working for everyone, but that's just because white people have been in charge for forever. And so now, through social media, through at least more people are paying attention, and the shifting, the sands are going to shift. And the astrology is very helpful right now in terms of the sands are going to shift anyway, but like, how the fuck are we going to use it? And that's fucking Virgo, because Virgo shows up and says, oh, well, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there, and here's how you're going to use all of them. And in fact, I've organized it so you can go from point A to point B to point C to point D to point C to D to E to F. You're finished, and now you have a beautiful whatever at the end of it. Because Virgo shows up for you in the physical. So this moon's, I'm getting overexcited, and it's starting to come out very fast. And so full moon in Virgo. Moon is our emotional body. It's how we nurture. It's how we need to be nurtured. It can kind of be our language of love, can be indicative of our relationship that we have to our mother. It's just, and typically more feminine archetypes would be the moon. And to have a feminine moon in a feminine sign in the feminine earth mother sign, so it's how are we using these emotions in this brand new energetic space where we've just passed through the birth canal, that is the critical degree, where we're kind of on the other side, maybe panting a little bit, but now it's like, okay, all right, how can I use this? How can I use what I've learned, given the passageway that I've just been through, in terms of where do I want to go from here? Because as we have these transits happening into earth signs, it's about physically, where do we go from here? What do you need to do to get you aligned in what the fuck it is you came here to do? Because odds are you're not fucking doing it. You're getting in alignment, yes, but you're probably not doing what you came here to incarnate to do just quite yet, because the financial structures in place do not being able to do spiritual work is a huge privilege. It's a huge privilege, because to sit there and be reflective and to be able to bring that focus inward and reflective on yourself, that means on some level your physical world is taken care of. So let's one, acknowledge that that this is an incredibly privileged journey to take, and to have the time to be reflective and hold that, and then actively work to get to a place where everyone has the ability to be grounded in a spiritual practice, because there's so much in our physical world right now that requires our attention that even beginning to do self-care or meditation can be really fucking hard. So one, let's do that. And I forgot where that train of thought was going. I got sidetracked. Shoot. Oh, why you're here. That being able to kind of figure out what your superpowers are, you know what I mean? Like, are you clairsentient? Are you clairaudient? Like, when you play music, is it healing? Are you hilarious? Do you tell really great jokes and bring laughter to people? That we all incarnated with our brand of medicine, right? And we're all here with our soul family who also have their own brand of medicine, and it's about figuring out who that soul family is and how we can all fucking swap medicine, right? So how can I heal you? How can you heal me? And I truly believe that is the value system that we are switching to on a physical level. Again, all this earth sign energy. But before that happens, there's fucking gonna be chaos for a while, because that's just how birth is. It's fucking messy, and shit, I hear rips, and it's bloody and can be scary and dangerous. But the whole idea is you get to where you're going. And where we're going is a place where everyone is aligned in their personal spiritual system. You know, they're plugged into the universe. They know how the universe talks to them. They know how to read the signs, and they can communicate with their guides, and then therefore they're conscious of their medicine, and they can consciously direct their medicine. This is my medicine. This is what I kind of know. And my whole goal here is to share what I've learned in terms of how I kind of communicate with the universe and the signs and the patterns that I pick up on, because patterns are big for me. They've always stood out. And puzzles are big, and so I'm always trying to figure out how all the pieces fit together, but my hope is that I can show others how to do that. And you, I guarantee, have a thing that no one else can fucking do, and you're here to show other people how to do it. Anyway, that is the energy of this Virgo full moon. What are you here to do? What changes do you need to make to do that? And then how do you go about bringing those changes into the physical? How do you till the earth? Remember, Mars moved into Taurus. Earth, taking action with the earth. Virgo is the harvest. Farmers consciously working with the earth, giving it something to get something. Symbiotic relationships. Where are you not symbiotic? Where are you self-sabotaging? Because Virgo wants to point it out for you. Virgo wants to help. Virgo always wants to help. Sometimes Virgo can go a little overkill in their want to help, but a high-functioning Virgo always shows up for you in the physical. And so we are all being pushed to embody our own highly functional Virgo energy and make the changes that we need to fucking make to do what we came to do. So, that's why it's so intense right now. Because we are supposed to be paying attention to every single fucking thing that is not working in our lives right now. And that can be really fucking hard, day in and day out, to sit there and see all the shit that's not working. But we make it worth it by embodying that Virgo energy and being like, shit, well, at least I can see it clearly, and now that I've identified it, I can work with it. Because before, there was just a whole lot of like bumbling around in the dark and being like, fuck, that hurts, well shit, that hurts too, but not necessarily knowing why or where that original pain stems from. Virgo's here to be like, hey, follow me, I'll show you. And that consciously working and letting Virgo take that direction is how we get through that pain faster. Because what's happening for us as these waves just keep rising and falling, and just the exhaustion that comes with continually surfing, we're figuring out how to do it better. And what we're finding is we can cut through a whole lot of tumult if we just fucking dive straight through. Like a fucking wave. You don't want to go through a wave that's 60 feet high because that's fucking terrifying, but I bet you could get strong enough that you could swim right through. Spiritually. I'm not fucking talking like in the ocean, if you're near an ocean, to go out and do that because like you're gonna die. But spiritually, that's what's being asked of us right now, is to figure out how to fucking dive through that wave. So we don't have to continually fucking ride the goddamn roller coaster. Because I'm sick of it. This roller coaster sucks. I want off. I don't want to ride on this roller coaster anymore. Shit. Anyway, so that is kind of the general feel for what's happening right now. I hope that was informative. I'm now going to switch to what Spirit needs us to know about this time, and I'm just going to leave it open to that. I'm starting, and we're just going to see what comes through. This is Black Moon Astrology by Susan Shepard, and I'm also going to see if any Osho Zen Tarot cards, I've got them ready to go. They're pre-shuffled, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle them again. And this is just guidance. I'm going to open it up for the rest of the week, not necessarily just this full moon, because with so much unlimited potential at these 0 degrees, because you've got the whole, it's like the world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. This energy, where 0 degrees of Virgo is like, it's like the very first time Marie Kondo shows up to your house. Like, I love a mess. That's we're supposed to love our mess right now. That's the fucking ask. Love your mess. Thank your mess because it brought you clarity. Maybe it brought you that it didn't spark joy, and it's time to release it. But what she does before she throws something away or before you donate something, you sit with it and you thank it and you give it gratitude. And that can be the hard part of the spiritual journey, because it's very hard to be fucking punched in the face and be thank you, I'd like another. It fucking sucks, but that's the whole idea, because that makes us fucking strong. And so when that fucking 60-foot fucking perfect storm, Mark Wahlberg rogue wave shows up, you can go, oh fuck, I got this. Like, we don't need to go up and over. We're going through. So that is that. I was hoping I could get some cards to fall out. Angels here, ancestors, guides, guardians, fairies, elementals. Can I get a card, please? Just to start listening. All right, I'm not going to get a card. That's okay. We're going to pull. All right. I'm going to start. All right. Starting with 4. This shit's just wild. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, I am guided to pull this out. We've got Leo. So Leo is the energy that we are in right now. It is being recognized, because Leo is a sign that when it's super high functioning, they don't necessarily need applause, though it's always nice. But when they're not, I don't know why I just wanted to shuffle those, but I'm not going to do that. But lower functioning, it's something that they continually need, and it can be a hard time to be bad at stuff. Like not picking something up right away will really stress a Leo out. Feeling like they're continually doing something wrong will continually stress a Leo out. That they, in order to change or be productive, they need positive reinforcement and they need to be recognized. So we are in an energy of recognition right now, where what's working will be stepping forward and what's not will also be stepping forward. It's about recognizing. All right. So we've got on the table, we've got Capricorn, Grand Cross, Pluto, and Jupiter return benefits. This is a card that came out a few days ago in a general reading. So that's interesting. Pluto has been coming up in my own readings for myself as well. Let me just look at these for a minute and see what wants to come through. Okay. Grand Cross, Provoker. Remember how I was talking about the whole design is to feel everything to know how to use it? AKA why we're being provoked right now. Grand Cross is when you have a full square. So you've got 4 either planets or asteroids, 4 heavenly bodies, exactly 90 degrees from one another. So you have a square. What that does, that kind of intensifies that energy. I mean, like, look, these literally look like crosshairs. Like, so it's something in crosshairs in terms of how are we going to use this volatile energy? Because this energy is quite volatile. It looks like they've put Mars here on the bottom. I don't know if you can tell that. And I mean, it might not be Mars. It just happens to be red, so I'm going to read it as Mars. But again, Mars is action. Mars is god of war. Mars is our masculine. So we are, it's interesting that I find, at least for myself, as the divine feminine rises on the planet, my divine masculine almost steps forward in a way that I have to continually rebalance and temper, like, because feminine is trust and our intuition, and masculine is like logic and action. And so it's this continual rebalancing of surrendering to the trust, but also movement in the physical. It's like learning to drive a stick shift right now. And Grand Cross would be learning to drive a stick shift when there's some fucking asshole behind you on a hill, like laying on their horn. And you're just like, motherfucker, I'm gonna reverse and hit you. Like, you're just being a dick right now. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But if we sit with that energy, that energy tells us, all right, I need patience because I don't want to be the asshole to some 16-year-old kid who's learning how to drive a stick shift and freak the fuck out of their minds, because that's not fun to do anyone. And it also teaches you, as that 16-year-old, there are just fucking assholes in this world and you just gotta fucking deal with it. Like, sometimes that's as deep as the lesson goes, is just, oh, well, I recognize what that asshole energy is, and I will, or not recognize, I see what that asshole energy is, so therefore I can recognize it the next time. So that's kind of the Grand Cross. If you have it natally, the 4 planets or asteroids that it's between can be very headbutty, and it can also kind of, are we gonna go? You know, kind of shimmying back and forth, a lot of false starts. We're being asked to fucking use this shit. Capricorn, it's interesting. I just recognized kind of the correlations between Capricorn and Virgo in terms of consciously working with the earth. It's just Virgo is the feminine way of working with the earth, and Capricorn is the very masculine way of working with the earth. And that Virgo is all about our symbiotic relationship. Capricorn is like, how am I going to logically make sense of everything and build a system that works for everyone? Because Capricorn are our laws, Capricorn are our roads, Capricorn are our politicians, Capricorn are the fucking street sign. Like, the physical structures that we put in place to make sense of our world. And then Virgo is like, the physical structures that we put in place in terms of how to work with our world. Farming or gardening or working with animals, even, you know, dairy farming, which I guess is still a farm, so farming covers all of those bases. We've also got Pluto transformation. This is a time of transformation, but like, duh, look around you. Pluto is the god of the underworld. He seeks transformation at all cost, and he does not shy away from the dark, and he can be very intense, and he can particularly be very intense about what he perceives as light, and he can be obsessive. And what I'm getting right now, it's about our obsession, putting to use our obsessions. That which we can't get out of our head, that which we circle back around on, that which we know logically but we're not listening to with our intuition or with our hearts, you know, kind of. We are all waking up, and we're all at various different stages of waking up. And I talked about this before with like human superpowers, but we all have our fucking superpowers. Maybe your superpower is that only you can communicate with a very specific type of energy that is so finely tuned that no one else's frequency can pick it up. And by being intensely focused on what is my spiritual superpower, you put it to use, and then you're using this kind of provoking energy for your enlightenment, essentially. And here we've got Jupiter benefits on this table, and Jupiter returns are a lot like Saturn returns, but whereas Saturn returns are you take a test and you get a pizza party after, Jupiter returns are just a fucking pizza party. Like, they happen every 12 years. They come around, and it's just, I mean, yes, Jupiter wants to make sure you've learned your lessons, of course, but Saturn's like, you didn't run that 12-minute mile. I'm sorry. You didn't pass gym. Like, that's Saturn. Jupiter's like, it's fine. I mean, no, 12 minutes is a ridiculous time to run a mile and under. Like, I get it. It's fine. The average adult probably can't do that. I can't. Like, have a pizza party. It's fine. That's Jupiter. And so what that is saying, this great energy kind of wrapping it up, is that yes, this is a time of transformation. Yes, this is a time of intensity. This is a time of people fucking honking on your ass while you're trying to go up a hill, learning to drive stick shift. But it's about fucking using everything present in your life right now for your soul's evolution. That's what's up. So, that's how we're being asked to work with the energy. And the thing that fucking sucks when Spirit is like, oh yeah, you gotta be accountable now though. Sorry. I know you don't want to, but it's about being accountable that it's about being accountable. And Spirit does this thing where if you're listening but like not doing, it will get louder and louder and louder until it manifests in your physical world. And because you hear, this tells you fucking everything. You know when you're in an alignment with this, and you know when you're not. And when you're not in alignment, the chatter starts, and you keep pushing the chatter down. The chatter gets louder. You push it down. The chatter, your guides, your angels have no choice but to go from in your ear to physically in your face. Except the way it works is, yes, certainly they can hop into a body and you can get saved by a person from the ocean, and then the person instantly disappears, and you're like, what? Who saved me? And it was like, well, it was your fucking angel, because it's not your time to die. But bitch, I told you not to go swimming today! Don't make my ass go out into the physical and save you! Just put this on my back now, and we'll be a little bit more upright. But when we're not listening to our own internal guidance, Spirit will continually grab us to get our attention. And sometimes it has to do that drastically, because we are here to do a fucking job. You're here to do your job. And I just want to show this because I was breaking up the Osho deck to shuffle it, and I broke it up between control and master. We cannot control our world. We can't. We cannot control our physical world. We can work with it, but this is the only thing we can control. And it's about releasing the illusion that we are in control of what's out here, because ultimately we're not. The only thing we're responsible for is this. And what is that? Fucking self-mastery. That is knowing, illuminating, being illuminated by your fucking truth. I was going to say church. You're not illuminated by your church unless your church is you, in which case, yes, you're illuminated by your church. So, again, it's this, and I keep fucking coming back to this goddamn stick shift analogy, but you control the car by shifting when it's time to shift. But when it's not time to shift, there isn't shit for you to do but sit there and enjoy the ride. You can't control everything. You're not here to control everything. You're here to surrender control and allow experiences to wash over you and not attach to them and just say, thank you, I'll take another. Really? That's fucking enlightenment, man. Thank you, I'll take another. Anything, regardless. Does it hurt? All right, I'll take another. Does it feel good? No, all right, I'll take another. Thank you. Gratitude. That's the meaning of life. All right. Any closing messages, Spirit, that we need to know for the rest of this week, or about the intensity of it all? All right. Slowing down. Rome wasn't built in a day. Collapsed pretty quickly, but it wasn't built in a day. We missed, look how fucking, this is a rainbow turtle with a rainbow aura walking down a rainbow road. That's pretty fucking tight. That rainbow turtle is gonna fucking move slowly because it's in the middle of a rainbow. Appreciate how you're already in your rainbow. How are you sparkly? Slow down. Are you honoring that sparkle? Are you watching the magic unfolding in front of you as a result of you slowing down? Because we miss shit. We're going too fast. We miss shit. I miss shit every goddamn day because I'm so trying to get, I don't know what. But it's the energy we have, the shift that we have to make is going from doing to experiencing, and we experience by slowing down. It's funny, the second card that came out is Breakthrough, which is directly underneath Pluto transformation. So this week has the potential for many fucking breakthroughs. The way breakthroughs work is by slowing down and writing all of that shit down. Because you know how breakthroughs are beautiful, but you can't necessarily hold on to everything as they happen. It's about being present so you can name and apply every single fucking breakthrough that you had, which will lead to reduced stress. This is a card that looks fucking terrible. It's reversed, so that means it's a lessening of the energy, and this feels like one I need to read reversed, which I don't always do. But I'll turn it upright so you can see. But there's a guy who has 4 hands who's got, I think this is the 7 of Wands, maybe? In the traditional tarot, it's either Wands or Swords, I would assume. I don't know. But look how much shit he's doing. And then look here at the bottom, there's a fucking monkey with a giant-ass needle. This is about putting down, letting everything fall that's just keeping you busy. One, if I was at a party and this dude was circling around, I'd be like, get the fuck out of my face, man. This is too much. There is so much in life right now that is too much. And you know what it is. Let it fall away. You know what matters and you know what doesn't. Don't sit in the stressful energy for the sake of sitting there. So you do yourself no favors, and you're also at the party you're at, you're stressing other people out. Get your shit right. This week is about breaking through so we can drop the stress and welcoming in our playfulness. This is another card that's released. Look at this fucking sparkle clown. I love this deck because it's nothing but rainbows and sparkles. But this is a clown. So this is not a fun clown. Clowns aren't my favorite, A of all, but B of all, I would much rather be around this clown than this clown. This clown at least brought glitter. This clown just brought chaos and a monkey with a sharp object. That's no good. Welcome to play. And I know that's so fucking challenging because we're literally an energy that's designed to provoke. But we get the good shit when we surrender to it all and stop resisting the play, because that's another thing. When we're in this intense energy, and I am fucking guilty as shit about this, I'm just all seriousness all the time. Fuck you, why are you having fun right now? Look around you, the world is in shambles, the sky is falling. When it's about, yeah, man, the sky's always, there's always crisis, dude. There's crisis every goddamn day. That's just the nature of this game. That's it. That's part of it. You gotta fucking play anyway, man, because if you spend every day running around like the sky is falling, eventually that balloon's gonna pop and you're gonna come crashing down to the earth and there's going to be a monkey with a sharp object waiting for you. That's no bueno. I know. Roy says hi. It's no bueno. I know. Just please don't bark. So that's what's up. That's what Spirit has to say. Slow down to your rainbow. Appreciate your fucking magic, dude. Because look, all this magic is emanating from this fucking, tortoise. It's a tortoise, I would assume. I think turtles can swim in water. This looks like if you put it in water, it would drown. But it's all coming from his third eye. And there's even a little light right there above their third eye. Superpowers are coming online right now, man. I'm not fucking kidding you, dude. Like, my intuition has just been off the fucking charts. It's insane. So slow down so you can figure out what superpowers of yours are coming online. Because I promise you, you have superpowers. You have fucking superpowers, and you're here to share your superpower. And I'm so excited to see what that might be. And please tell me when you find out, because that's fucking awesome. And you find out by slowing down. A friend at work had the experience where she got to drive through a rainbow. Like, she literally was at the end of the rainbow and was in a car and got to drive through. And she talks every time she talks, it's both magical because I get to experience it with her, but then there's also that very human thing of like, I want to experience the end of the rainbow. But we experience our end of the rainbow, our own personal end of the rainbow, by slowing down. And seeing all the beauty, all the prismatic beauty that surrounds us always. Because you're in the rainbow. This is the end of the rainbow. It's always been the end of the rainbow. It's just, sometimes we have to shift our perspective. We have to get out of our own way to see it. And let's just see, this is a time to let go. This is what's at the bottom of the deck. Letting go. This card, there's a water droplet here. And it's about how scared the water droplet is to fall in because it doesn't know what's at the end of this leaf. But it knows that if it stays on that leaf, the sun's going to come out and it will evaporate. And it will change form, and it will become something different. So it has two choices. Is it going to fall onto the next leaf and then eventually join with the water and become one with everything? Or is it going to evaporate, and is it going to go join the sun and become one with everything? It's always one with everything. We're always one with everything. We cannot not be one with everything. So we have to let go. And we have to consciously choose. Eventually the droplet falls in and it ripples outward. and it stays on Earth a little while longer until eventually it will change form and the lake dries up, or more water is added to it, or it's pumped out, or it probably gets polluted and everything dies. But I don't mean, like, that's a joke. It's a bad one. I'm just trying to bring levity here. But this is about letting go the illusion that any of us are in control, because we're not. That's in control. Your highest self is in control. It's about slowing down so you can listen to what that higher self is telling you. One, that higher self is telling you to fucking play, bitch. You're here to have fun. But two, your higher self just wants you here. It wants you present and slowing down so you can perceive what it's trying to tell you, what it's communicating to you. Because you will be rewarded for this work. And one, it's about trusting that the reward is coming, which is a hard frequency to hold. And I can acknowledge that, just as someone who is deeply devoted in their spiritual practice and also still has to exercise trust every single day. And it's hard. But the universe wants to give you back what you give it, which is why if you're seeing assholes everywhere, you might be an asshole. And if you're seeing nice people everywhere, you might be a nice person. It's always trying to give you back what you give it. So when you give it your best self, when you continuously show up, it's going to do the same for you. But it's on a different timeline. It's on the divine timeline. It's something that we fucking can't control. Where did my control go? I said letting go. Oh, when I split the deck earlier, that's when control came out. But we are limited in our controlling just as we are limited in our understanding. We have to surrender our understanding to something higher than ourselves, and we also have to surrender our sense of control to something higher than ourselves. That nothing is without meaning, and we'll get exactly to where we're going. We just have to surrender. And so that's kind of a sticky energy. Well, not necessarily. It's just interesting that, we've got such a strong message of surrendering to the pain. I would say surrendering. Virgo says surrender to the pain so I can show you what to do with it. So they work. There are two messages that go hand in hand in terms of this week, this moon, or any fucking time you see this. If you see this in 2030, it's exactly as relevant as it is right now, because it's obviously the energy that you find yourself in or you wouldn't have found it. Bert, that's that. I love you. Thank you for being here. Stay with me as we figure out what works. And I believe in you. And I can't wait to see what your superpowers are. All my love.